Hi, welcome along to AFTV. We are over here in the United States of America. We're actually in New Jersey at the moment, about 15 minutes drive away from the MetLife Stadium where the game is going to take place, the home of the New York Giants NFL team. That is where the game is going to take place today, and it's a gigantic game because it's Arsenal versus Manchester United. It gets serious now, very serious. This isn't a friendly, it's an unfriendly, right? And I'll tell you what, all the fans over here are really, really looking forward to it. I've got James, and I've also got Mr. Tan himself, tanned up, right? Lead judges, right? But what we're going to do, we thought before we head out to the game, we wanted to discuss what we would like to see as a starting 11, because the thing is about friendlies, you don't know what sort of team the manager's going to put out. You might go really strong, you might go with a sort of semi-strong team. We really don't know. It is one of those things you really don't know until the game starts to kick off. So first of all, let me get yours, James. What your starting 11 that you would like to see?
Ramsdale in goal.
Yep.
White, Saliba, Gabriel, and I'd bring Zinchenko in
Yep.
for his first minutes of pre-season. Odegaard, Partey and Rice.
Yep.
Saka, Jesus and Martinelli.
Okay. Lee, starting 11.
Well, not that me and James don't agree on everything, but that's what I would go with. But I don't
Exact
think,
same.
Yeah, but I don't think Zinchenko's fit. So I don't. If I was a manager, I didn't want to risk him. So I'm gonna, and I think he deserves his chance. Tierney, I'd like to see what he's gonna do in there. You know.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go exactly the same. But with Tierney, obviously, like I do want to see Partey playing as well. But again, like I don't think he's going to be quite fit enough.
Okay,
But I do want to see a really strong side.
All right, mine would be Ramsdale, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Tierney. Not because of any fitness or anything, I just would like to see Tierney start and I want to see Timber doing the inverting. In midfield, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, and up front, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. Right, I want to start with a really strong team. So, well, I'll give you mine first, right? I want to start with a really strong team because it's Manchester United. There's going to be 80,000 fans in the stadium, and I really want to get up to a good, fast start. And also, I'm excited to see what Timber can do from the start. You know what I mean? I want to see if he's, like I was just saying, him inverting in off that right-hand side. See if that, what that will do. Will that aid us? Will it? I mean, it might not be the one because it might kind of hinder Saka a bit. I don't know, but I'm just intrigued to see what it'd be like. But what about you?
Well, no, I'm offended.
You're offended?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, what has Ben White done to be left out?
Ben White's done nothing. I just want to take a look at Timber.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you want to take a look at anybody else in? Like, why am I
Benjamin? Ben White, I know what he's going to do. He's been brilliant. The other night he played the longest of anybody in that game. He did.
Right,
Ben White, right? So to me, Timber came on. He gave a great cameo. I want to see him from the start.
Listen, I was really, really impressed with Timber. I've got to say that, like, you know what I mean? But so this just say that Timber really smashes it the next few games and all that. First game against Frost, you wanting Timber in place of White?
I want whoever's performing the best. It's what called competition for places is. It's not, my favourite player is Ben White, I want him to play. It's who's performing at the time, and that's what healthy competition does. Ben White would probably start. If I was naming a team to start a Premier League game, it would be Ben White. But right now, it's a friendly, right? It's a serious friendly, but from what I saw of him, I don't think he's going to let us down, and I'd like to see him start. You had Timber starting in yours as well.
No, I had White.
Oh, yeah, White starting.
I'll start with White. My thing was getting the players that did so well last year back together again on the pitch, trying to see if they can find that fluidity, trying to see if they can get up to scratch with how they played at such a high level for 80% of last season. I want to see if they can get back to that. But crucially, I want to see if you can take Xhaka out, put Rice, and at least get back to the levels of last year. Because what we did last season was not far off being good enough, It really wasn't. A Saliba injury, a Tomiyasu injury, maybe dealing with the nerves a little bit better. Maybe those little things, and we'd have got over the line. So I want to just see that we can get back to that, because Granit Xhaka, even though for so long Arsenal fans weren't convinced, even though it took a long time to really understand what his best role was in this Arsenal team, he did get there and he became a crucial part of it last season. So I want to see that we can at least get back to what we were last season. Get the group back together, get Rice in that box-to-box. So I loved Arteta's quotes. He was talking about Partey and Rice playing together. He said, absolutely. Absolutely I see having both brilliant players in my team. I want to see if Rice can do that box-to-box role. We've seen at West Ham he can. Can that translate to Arsenal? And then also the other thing that I've had in my mind is, what do the substitutions look like? And I know that we can get carried away with what that starting 11 looks like, but when we are making those changes, what are they going to look like? So you've got Timber and Tierney starting together. I love the idea of them playing together, whether it's from the start or later. I thought there was a really nice balance with Tierney slotting into the back three, Timber inverting. I liked all that. So that's why I've ultimately gone for that, yeah.
Yeah. I agree with James there. I want to see, I think it's really important to see what Rice can do if he's going to be the box. I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah.
Whether he's going to play the box to box or it's going to be Partey. I don't think Partey will play today, by the way. So he's only just come over train. So I think maybe Rice in there and Havertz. So even if that is the case, I'm going to be really looking forward to seeing what they do, because that.
Right, what Rice sitting and Havertz in at number 8?
And Havertz playing the number 8 with Odegaard, because I potentially think that could be the starting, which is going to be really interesting. So that for me interests me and intrigues me, and I think it's important that they do these things against teams like Man United and Barcelona. I know what you're saying about Timber, so can he do it? It's all right saying it's the MLS game and everything like that, but I want to see if Rice, Havertz and Odegaard can do it against the top Premier League
Can I
side.
cut you there, Lee? Because we've had Tierney mentioned and we've had Havertz mentioned there. If Partey and Zinchenko aren't fit, we know Zinchenko hasn't played, we know Partey has only just arrived. I just don't think Arteta sees Havertz and Tierney as the solutions right now. I actually think he sees Kivior at left back more likely, because he's been inverting and doing that quite well. And sorry, just one more. Jorginho. I think actually if we're to see Rice in that box-to-box, I think Jorginho, look, he came with a lot of criticism. Okay, struggled again a little bit in his debut against Everton, but other than that, I really like what he's done this last. I thought he was good in the first half against the All-Stars. I think actually if he's to start Rice that box-to-box, I think maybe it's Jorginho then gets the minutes as that DM, and there's a nice balance. One's a dictator and plays. We know Rice can, but he's also the legs and the energy. So I think maybe if they don't start, those are the two he'll go with.
Listen, that's a fantastic point. I think we have sort of overlooked Jorginho a little bit. So if you're going to still play the box-to-box role today, if you want to see Rice doing that, then Jorginho in there. Great also point with Kivior. I've been impressed with him.
Yeah, I
think he's getting better and better. He's sort of playing at the left side. Now, if you're going to play the inverted role on the right-hand side, it may be. Then, if you're not going to be starting Tierney at these times, and this is what I'm thinking now, you've still got Tommy Asu that can cover that. You've got Zinchenko now. You're saying you're playing Kivior there. Where is Tierney going to play? If you're going to get good money offered for Tierney, I think it's going to be like, we're going to have to take that now, because it doesn't look like there is a sufficient enough role for him to justify being a bit part player when there's £40 million maybe on the table. I don't know. I like Tierney. I thought he'd done well when he came on the other day, but I do think his future at Arsenal's waning because of what you've just said there with Kivior as well.
No start for Balogun from either of you.
No, I thought his movement looked really good against the All-Stars, actually. We know he got some good goal scoring possession against Nuremberg. He knows how to score goals, or at least get himself into position to do it. But I would bring him off the bench. I'd probably bring... It's probably Marquinhos who'd miss out. So, Eddie, Trossard and Balogun would be my three that come on for the second half. Obviously, we know Nelson's missing as well. Maybe Vieira can play wide. But that's... it's an interesting one with Balogun. I think he'll get some significant minutes. Trossard, though, I've just mentioned, he's been playing in midfield in this pre-season. So, and he's impressed. He's done okay. So that would be an interesting one for Arteta as well.
Okay.
Just want to say, also, sorry to cut you, Rob, sorry about that. What I will say is that I think looking at the pre-season last season to this pre-season, this is when he started playing the team that was going to go into the Premier League, so that's why I'm intrigued today, because I think that it'll be near enough what he's going to go for, like, you know. And you know, I felt like Eddie done okay when he was on the left-hand side. I don't see him as a left-sided player, so is it just getting him minutes to go there? So. Like, I think it's just getting minutes, certain players getting minutes and all that. I think today, this is where the pre-season, not because it's just Man United, this is where it starts for me, like, you know, and I don't know how everybody feels about it. I'll be disappointed if we don't beat these today. I think, you know, for me today, go out there and scare Man United. Go, do you know what I mean? That's what we're up against next season, like, you know. Show them that we are, you know, the team. You know, Man United fans, I think, are just getting a little bit above their station. They haven't really improved as much as what I thought they would do in the transfer at this moment in time. They were a little bit like this last season, and then they got it towards the end of the transfer window. Let's nail it now. Let's get on there and get a good performance. And I'm looking forward to it because of those reasons. You know, this is exciting times for Arsenal. I think I do believe that. Like, you know, we're leaving quality players on the bench, as James just alluded to there, like Trossard. You know, I don't see him being a regular. Vieira, I don't see being a regular. Reece Nelson, I don't see him being a regular. And we're not even talking about Balogun and Eddie. And then you look in the midfield. You know, all of a sudden, like, is it going to be Havertz? Is it going to be Jorginho? It's taking its shape, Robbie. It is, really.
It's definitely taking its shape. Well, listen, what is your guys' preferred starting 11 for today's game? It's a big one. It's a friendly, but it's a big one. It's going to be a massive crowd over here. It's sold out. There's a real buzz around New York, around New Jersey. There's been loads of tailgate parties going on and lots of things happening. It is super hot as well. That might have an effect on who plays as well. The game's been played around about 5 o'clock US time, which means it will still be very hot. It wouldn't have cooled down that much. So don't expect, there'll be water breaks. And don't expect to see players like going a whole 90 minutes. I really do think there'll be quite a bit of chop and changing. Don't forget, you can watch the game. Watch us watching the game on the watch along. The guys are in the studio on the ready for that. And also you can check out all the merch, right? In the merch store, he's got the Saliba one on. He's got the Kai Havertz on.
King Kai.
Right? King Kai. Right, so make sure you get those, right? And yeah, looking forward to this one. Subscribe to AFTV and don't miss a thing.